This video is intended to describe a lightblade wand named Purification. Joining me today will be my whimsical stick figure chakra map for guide reference of different chakra accumulation points, as well as this lovely brown leather with the Eye of Horus and a clear quartz embossed with the Flower of Life. So without further ado, getting straight into the blade band scaffolding of this construct seen like so. So before I get into the crystalline composition, of course, it's the aspect of the blade band scaffolding I want to discuss first that runs all the way up here to this primary blade band, recirculating to this lateral band, which basically resembles a figure 8 for perpetual recirculated energetic momentum of this entire construct to basically contain a frequency circuit through the entire construct. Starting off with the transmutation ratio seen right here. So the transmutation ratio running right here with hematite and smoky quartz. Hematite is a fantastic grounder of all energies. Any kind of stray radio energies get firmly rooted through the root chakra into the earth stars, into the earth for reprocessing, in tandem with smoky quartz to provide the same energetic function pathway of directing frequency of energy to ground all excess energy through the root chakra into the earth stars, into the earth meridian matrix for reprocessing. So the two in tandem, what is deemed the transmutation ratio, works great as a team to encourage a very strong rapid grounding of all excess energy in tandem through the root chakra into the earth stars, into the earth meridian matrix for reprocessing to basically perpetuate etheric energetic dialysis into the earth meridian matrix for constant purification to transmute negativity into positivity by firmly purifying and grounding it into the earth for reprocessing. And so that ratio continues like so, all the way to this right here, to this lateral band underneath this lovely Jedi brown leather. Also goes right here to this lateral band and recirculates right here to be its own transmutation scaffolding subroutine of the entirety of the energy output. Then going into the primary blade band, that will be definitely in the prerogative of honoring the archetype of purification, is a rather exotic variation of a typical transmutation platform with a heavy black-gray purification grounding context. Starting off with clear quartz to be a neutral accelerant of the energy, going into tourmalated quartz, which actually is clear quartz with black tourmaline in the structure. Clear quartz makes for a fantastic neutral ambient accelerant of energy, or just basically very programmable, thereby making it consciousness-assisted technology to run current or prayers of the higher self-intention of the wielder, for example, which makes it a very nice neutral ambient accelerant of other energies next to it. But the aspect of having black tourmaline in the structure makes its own natural amplification of another black-gray stone quite in vogue of black tourmaline to make a very powerful purification grounding, just like smoke quartz and hematite for that matter, to intensify the grounding of all excess energy into the earth for rapid reprocessing. Then in tandem with that will be the lovely, legendary, quite in vogue in this timeline, shungite, which is a lovely carbon-based crystal that is amazing black-gray purification agent as well. So of course, the big theme of this entire construct is pretty self-evident by this 3.5 minutes, is that it's a very strong purification grounding into the earth for reprocessing kind of threshold device. That of a transmutation exotic nature platform. So the shungite, of course, is quite in vogue for mitigating EMF, 5G waves, all harmful energy bombardments we face as modern humans. Be very well notarized in shungite to neutralize and purify those kind of emanations. So in conjunction with the tourmalated quartz, with black tourmaline in the clear quartz, works to accelerate the frequency in between each ignition sequence to further intensify the purification threshold of this entire closed-loop circuit. Going on like so, with the shungite and the tourmalated quartz running like so all the way back to this clear quartz to be a neutral ambient accelerant, straight back grounded into the transmutation ratio, which would be, of course, the entirety of the figure 8 scaffolding mentioned thus far. And down by the engine, there's actually quite the special lateral band seen right here, combining golden healer quartz, a very fantastic high heart stimulant, as well as gold white light crystalline frequency alignment energizer, which basically means it's a very powerful energy connection to the heart of creation. For in metaphysical application and vibrational engineering endeavors, that's self-evidently rather advantageous for the aspirant or spiritual practitioner to have a clean resonant frequency shot to the heart central sun of creation Then in between that would be pyrite, which is a more yang masculine cousin to hematite, seen right here, both iron-based metals, except pyrite is a very powerful metal-based third chakra, solar plexus stimulant that works very effectively to direct high-frequency energies into form or projection through intention. So the aspect of having the golden healer quartz, the great central sun emanation, with a more directional grounded metal frequency serves to ground that energy into focus and form, most particularly into directional intention. So it makes for quite an advantageous complementary frequency through this high transmutation platform. So that indeed would be all of the blade band scaffolding mentioned thus far. I'll get straight into the engine section seen right here. Starting off with Lemurian clear quartz seen right here, which is a fantastic neutral ambient heart of the construct, which of course puts it further in the realm of being consciousness-assisted technology by having resonance of energies or prayers or intention to run through this main nodal point, which is the heart of the construct, to of course resonate in tandem with the entirety of the lightblade wand. In tandem with the focalizers up here, which will eventually be gotten to once the progression is made, to describe these in tandem as well as the focus of the energy being clear quartz as well. Okay, clear my throat and get back on target. So that aspect right there, Lemurian quartz, like I mentioned, is a perfect neutral ambient energy that's associated with old Lemuria naturally. So that'd be the heart of the construct. Then down right here is a fantastic master healer well employed in many light tech endeavors of star argonite. Star argonite is a calcium-based full light body activator that works very quickly and cleanly and gently to dismantle any patterns that be impeding a natural healthy flow through the entire energy field, from literally the feet all the way to the top of the head. Any aspect of the chakra system gets cleared and purified, and is a tremendous dismantler of patterns of dis-ease in all spectrums of emotional, mental, spiritual, and physical in that really fantastic focus. So that's why, of course, that's placed at the very bottom to be a very powerful apex, massive, full light body healer from top to bottom, in tandem with such a high yield purification transmutation. And since I'm on the same topic, I'll discuss its well utilized complementary frequency of seraphinite, seen right here, which is another incredible master healer I employ quite frequently, particularly in tandem with these two, because much like the star argonite, seraphinite, named after the seraphim archangels, is also a very fantastic full light body stimulant as well, and also works very cleanly and quickly to dismantle any patterns of dis-ease from the top to bottom through the entire system. So naturally these two work in tandem. And actually, the part of the holy trinity of master healers I use quite frequently, since I'm on the subject, would be Tibetan black quartz as well. Tibetan black quartz from Tibet, a region in the world with virtually unrivaled spiritual discipline of mastery of the Om, is seen right here, and is a fantastic black ray crystal that is quite fascinating in the capacity to, just like the other two mentioned, hence they're, of course, in one continuity of discussion, stimulates the entire chakra column from bottom to top, and works very quickly as well to dismantle any patterns of dis-ease as well. So that basically would be the holy trinity of master healers I employ quite frequently, hence I'm discussing in one shot, so it has context of all of them working in tandem as a trio to quite simply illuminate and stimulate the entire chakra column to ideal configurations and work to dismantle any patterns of dis-ease that be impeding a very healthy natural light body flow from top to bottom, quite simply. Then right here, just like shungite, jet is another black ray carbon-based crystal of great notoriety that was well utilized by the Druids of old, particularly in a more old-school metaphysical application to be fantastic neutralizers of negativity into positivity, just like shungite. But also more specifically, even the Druids would utilize this jet particularly for neutralization of black magic. So it's kind of a nice complementary old-school rendition of a similar black ray carbon-based crystal of jet, being very much akin to shungite in tandem, in one apparatus, of course. That's why there's two of them right there to encourage, once again, extreme purification through grounding very rapidly into the earth for consistent reprocessing. Then right here is oceanic calcite. Oceanic calcite, of course, is white calcite, which is a nice, neutral, stagnant clear of energy from top to bottom since it's a white ray crystal. But what makes this quite remarkable is the aspect that this calcite was actually tumbled by the ocean for hundreds of years, perhaps, God knows. But the big point is that the indelible clearing capacity of the ocean has shaped this stone into what it is, so in a closed-loop circuit, that goes a very long way to bring oceanic purification through the transmutation sequence. And so obviously, the aspects of why I discuss these individual crystals right now is they're all grounded to a central primary wire, which is the main vein of the construct, to generate vibrational compound interest. So every single little crystal I mentioned right here that's not part of the main subroutine grounded into the structure, it's much like organs of this crystalline entity that all work in tandem together for a general vibratory threshold. Then down here is Prophecy Stone, another very interesting hematoid, much like hematite, based iron space metal right here, which is actually quite the auspicious conundrum for modern science, but I'll keep it just brief. Prophecy Stone is a very fantastic space metal that actually has a very strong 6th, 7th, 8th stimulation to the higher chakras, hence it's called Prophecy Stone because the gentleman who found it actually had a massive unexpected prophetic vision. But yet the aspect right here also makes for a very strong grounding of all this radial energy through the Earth stars into the Earth to indeed make it real. Which is a big prerogative of the entirety of this construct, of course, is a very grounded, purified field to encourage the strong energy alignment to Earth meridian matrix for consistent transmutation. Then right here, I'll discuss these guys first before I get into the very far out context of this guy. So another black ray crystal of great notoriety, this would be obsidian, locally harvested here in Mount Shasta. Obsidian, just like everything else black ray mentioned, is a fantastic transmuter of negativity into positivity by once again grounding through the Earth stars and grounding to the Earth for consistent reprocessing. So that's obviously a pretty consolidated, condensed theme of this device, to be a very purifying construct through high-yield transmutation through many different filters to achieve one common goal of rapid purification by grounding into the Earth very quickly. And to purify the energy field very, very effectively for that purpose of many different variables. Anyway, so right here, speaking of transmutation, I'll bring up this piece of amber right here. Though not technically a mineral, was also a metaphysically esoteric utilized crystalline magical ally that was very famous for transmuting negativity into positivity as well, yet through a more solar filter of strong purification through the solar plexus and purifying vibrations, and also makes it a classic stone of abundance because it simply neutralizes negativity into positivity as well. Then right here is black tektite. Black tektite is a fantastic product of space meteorites impacting sand, carrying the extraterrestrial jolt into creation, and is quite the staple in all light tech for the practical utilization of raising vibrations from once again, a black ray ground up foundation to increase vibratory threshold from the ground up. Makes it quite advantageous to literally raise vibrations from the entire foundational scaffolding. Then right here is fulgurite. Fulgurite is actually petrified lightning, where lightning actually strikes sand, that has a very powerful lightning frequency resonance that literally created this crystal scene right here. So fulgurite, being the power of lightning, is quite the powerful full light body stimulant as well, and was utilized by First Nation shamans to intensify their prayers back to Creator in service to the people with their medicine. So in that capacity, it also works as a massive vibratory threshold increase of literally the power of lightning running through this thing. And also, of course, intensifying one's prayers by raising the vibration to a very high ratio to manifest aspects of the power of lightning. Hence its First Nation shamanic spiritual utilization. Then right here is a larger piece of tourmalated quartz, just like mentioned in the blade band right here, as well as the thumb engagement. Tourmalated quartz is a very, very effective all-purpose purification agent by having clear quartz being a neutral ambient intensification of any energy around it, but then having black tourmaline in the structure, it naturally intensifies the black tourmaline purification. Hence a larger slab is employed right there. And that would be the engine besides the selenite and black kyanite, which I will save in one shot for these guys as well once I get towards the end of the video. And I will discuss now a very far out concept of the smoky celestial quartz. I oftentimes save this part for last in these engine dissertations because it gets quite meta and very far out to do my best to keep it coherent and concise on this particular crystalline subject. So the smoky celestial quartz, much like smoky quartz, is a fantastic purifier of negativity by its crystalline structure, but the aspect of its growth pattern makes it celestial, is quite the fascinating alignment to the auric field. So the aspect of celestial works as a auto-regulation, optimization, frequency pitch to whoever is wielding it. So what that means, of course, to try to make it sensical and just comprehensible, is that it works like a dimmer switch to ensure the entire frequency pitch of this device is at the premium octave for whoever is wielding it, even besides the primary wielder. This actually makes it a very dynamic reactive frequency buffer to whatever auric field template engages the construct to work as a dimmer switch regulator to be as comfortable in alignment and resonant quick as possible to attune to the field who is engaging it. And so to be quite simple, it works as a perfect regulator frequency surge protector as well to ensure the frequency of this entire device is comfortable in alignment and resonance as possible. Okay, that's simple enough. Moving on. And like I mentioned, directly above the liberating quartz is the selenite and black kyanite, which I will go ahead and save that for one last big winded dissertation at the end. So moving on, so once again, here is the thumb engagement like mentioned. This is the black tourmalated quartz, rather simplistic but very effective for just being a nice placement for the thumb to engage the construct like so. And black tourmalated quartz once again to intensify naturally the purification capacity of this device. Then, at the very apex of this blade, just like down here, is pyrite in another heavier natural cubic growth dose right here, to once again take the entire frequency overture of this high yield transmutation platform and bring it more directional focus through the solar plexus to actually direct the healing vibrations through intent with greater efficiency by tremendously grounding the energy into the 3D realm and to an output, basically. Then right here would be the focalizers right here, which are designed, of course, to take the perpetual figure eight momentum and actually give it an energy a focus. So this would be considered almost the business barrel end of the construct, if you would. Designed, of course, to be able to take the excess overture, ground it into the figure eight, and then ground it into the primary wire to actually direct the current through intention. For example, pointing at my buddy out here, the tree, to make an energy alignment connection, and to focus the energy to encourage its direction. So then right here would be the titanium aura quartz scene right here, which actually is a product of modern alchemy of pressure coating titanium to the structure of clear quartz, which makes for a very vivid titanium frequency, full light body rainbow activation as well, and a very powerful, encouraging, strengthening frequency through the entire auric field, literally the power of titanium on a quartz structure, to make a very strong intensification of the entire output of the device as well. Then right here, like mentioned before, clear quartz is a nice neutral ambient programmable energy that works with a very neutral frequency programming that of course can intensify the broadcast of the intention of the focus of the energy. And the entire core of the device actually is cedar wood found in my backyard from this guy back here, if I get the pen aligned. So of course these trees are my friends. They drop branches from time to time, which I pick off the floor and sand into the core of a lightblade wand, for example. Then, last but not least, actually there's a few more things I need to talk about for a full notarized dissertation. I'll be discussing the selenites and black kyanite next. So oftentimes I save the selenite for last for a distinctive capstone purpose of having the aspect of this entire frequency. Before I do that, so selenite by itself is a very fantastic 6th, 7th, 8th non-physical chakra stimulant all the way back to one's godhead or higher self-consciousness in a two-way gateway, if you would, to one's conscious self, which makes it truly dynamic and advantageous for the spiritual aspirant. And also with that high frequency divine induction, makes for a great transmutation negativity as well to burn off stagnant energies not aligned to one's highest self through the entire auric field. So it can be considered its own master healer in its own right. But the aspect of selenite makes it quite critical for a functional spirit tool is the capacity to take this entire frequency pitch mentioned thus far in the last roughly 20 minutes and through a subroutine circuit, purify all of these energies in a closed reactive circuit, and then to amplify or intensify all these frequencies, and most importantly perhaps is also to harmonize and bring equilibrium to the entire group of the vibratory output of this device. So once again, the selenite works to purify all these crystals, then to amplify, then to harmonize all of them. So that always makes for the triumphant trifecta of a functional spirit tool. And the aspect of black kyanite, seen right here, exclusively utilized, is a very rapid transfer of energy through the earth stars. So black kyanites for that matter, are the most rapid transfer of energy in the mineral kingdom to, of course, encourage the aspect of making the magic real in real time. So black kyanite is the most rapid bridger of energy through the base chakra, through the earth stars, into the earth for rapid transmutation reprocessing, which works like its own surge protector to ensure the entire frequency pitch of this device is grounding very quickly into the earth at an uncompromised rate that's very, very applicable to any situation to rapidly ground at a very high rate. And that's why, of course, my whimsical illustration of the pen is like this for that purpose, because of its rapid transfer of grounding energy quickly, as well as the kinetics redirect energy so quickly, it serves as another layer of etheric Teflon to encourage any densities or negativities be rounded through so quickly that it cannot stick in the field, or at least be highly discouraged to do so. Now, this will be last right now. So once this is fully notarized underneath the hood, this brown leather will be installed in a aesthetic fashion, which actually has a greater purpose than just looks. So the leather hood right here will serve many purposes of being the lovely Jedi brown, will be of course a very earthy brown kind of color therapy resonant encouragement, as well as a way to insulate all of this energy to further prevent stray energies from leaking from the entire structure of this entire broadcast, encouraging a strength and focus through the transmutation blade band seen down here, then of course contain the energy and make it more efficient through the entire blade band up here, as well as a way to protect all these subtle stones on the journeys so that nothing gets loose and none of the organs run away of this device, as well as once that's of course placed more appropriately, aesthetically pleasing wise, it'll have basically as a joke hood scoops, where I'll be installing a flower life embossed upon clear quartz to be a neutral ambient accelerant of a very prolific sacred geometric pattern found in all of creation. Then on the other side we'll actually have the Eye of Horus right here, very much indicative of the honoring the medicine of the recipient. And so that would actually be it in roughly almost 23 minutes, to my surprise. One of the shorter wand videos in a very long time, it feels like. Well, so the big aspect of the summary of purification is that this complex of device is very, very fundamentally oriented in purifying negativity by rapidly transmuting it into the earth for consistent reprocessing at a very reactive, quick rate, as well as having many master healers seen in the subroutine to encourage a very healed state and insulated energy field, quite simply. Well, that'd be it. 1,000 blessings, and may the force be with us all.